What's good with y'all, family? But this one's you are who you hang around with. So you want to protect your mind and your field of energy, y'all, because who you give your life force to is who you impact, family. Why do you think people who make you know self-motivated or isolated topics, about the world, people gravitate toward them because they feel their energy. When someone makes content about their experience on celibacy or just similar to y'all, people they feel that because they might be on the journey as well. But this video is about the people that are, going the opposite way, sticking towards that comfort, y'all. You might have friends like that, y'all, and I'm not speaking for everybody, but I'm speaking for how my past experience went, family. If you're in a place right now, y'all, where you're around people who are not like-minded like you want to exit that premises, y'all, because it's gonna confuse your judgment of thinking. You weren't meant to be around people who are stuck, y'all. You are meant to be around people that you can help, y'all, so you can help the whole world by helping them so they can help the world as well. The world, it evolves in rotation depending on how it is taught around them. But you can't grasp this kind of information, family, if you are living in a place of comfort, y'all, because you're happy where you are, but you're not striving towards something better. That's what I'm trying to remind you of, family, that you want to, strive towards something, or you want to look at yourself like you are becoming, because, let's just say back in my days of, comfort, y'all, I was never questioning who I can be, y'all, because those ideas never even hit my brain. Family, when I was in school and I was at my stages of getting out that hole, I wasn't thinking about, oh shit, who am I gonna be in this type of world that we live in? Because I was so much of putting limitations on myself to where I didn't see that expansion in my dome. That's what I would like to save y'all time, family, and remind you that, well, you have all the opportunities in the world that are gonna come at your way, but you must walk out in this world with pure energy, and you must not have nothing clouding your judgment, yo, or anything that's making you feel like you can't achieve nothing, because your power is and what you give it to, yo, your belief system has to change, and you must cut off old people, or old things that ain't serving you, which are friends that can be holding you back, yo. Family members that might be envious towards you because you're not thinking like them, yo. You're thinking like someone who has already did the work. So I remind y'all, family, what are you gonna do in a situation like this, y'all? Because this is a powerful topic to discuss, family. There's a lot of people, y'all, who are stuck because of how their friends are. And if you are watching this video, I'll remind you, you don't want to be like your homies or your homegirls, y'all. You want to do something that's gonna help you in the long run. It's all about bettering your future up, family. So if you see a future where you're down, well, look who you are around, y'all, and that might be your answer. Or you're just not surrounding yourself around things that are gonna motivate you or inspire you to become. Family, you might be watching scary movies and shit, or you might be watching things that's gonna hinder you. But this wasn't gonna be a long video, family. This is just to remind you that, people always say you are who you hang around. And I came out here to tell you that is true, family. Not because I've experienced that, family, but I have learned a lot enough in my life to realize that there's a lot of people who cannot become who they want to because of who they are around. It's just like, going to the store, family. If you go to the store, family, and you see so many people in that hole, well, it's obviously gonna attract more people, y'all, because where validation is, energy goes. But if you were surrounded by, people that are not like you, yo, well, then that's when your mind starts to differ, because you start to do things that not everybody else can do, yo. And that was your power from the whole beginning, to do things that others can't, yo, so you can help others, you know. My goal was to help the world, yo, with my voice, yo. That's the power of, belief, yo, because what you believe in, you can get, or you can see yourself headed. But not everybody has that power because they don't have power behind their tongue, yo. They don't believe in the words, or they're not even on a journey of climbing, you know. So for whoever's watching this, y'all, just look at your life and question your surroundings, y'all. You want to be around people who are winning, people who are thinking about life, people who are gaining, not only bread, but knowledge and wisdom. Or if you can't find those type of people, y'all, well, the best thing to do is to, rock out solo, y'all, because it's not that, you're better than them. No, it's just you don't want to become distracted, or you don't want to sit in things that are going to validate you, y'all. Because the only thing that validates a real chosen one, y'all, is work. His work ethic or her work ethic, y'all. You don't want to feel like anything can hold you back. Because you don't like control, y'all. Anybody who's truly chosen, y'all, does not like control, y'all, because power's in what you give yourself, y'all. So the only thing that you really contradict, y'all, or like about yourself is the power you have. You like your control, y'all. You like knowing that you can work when you want to. But I hope that this video has helped somebody, because I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there, yo, who's around people that they don't want to be around, or they might love to be around them. But if you are not getting nowhere in life, y'all, how can you call those people your friends or someone that are mentors that are aiding you? They're just people that are lost in the matrix, y'all. And since you have no talents or no thinking of yourself, y'all, you become stuck and shackled like them. Because now you're not thinking about nothing, y'all. You're just happy in the moment with them, y'all. And that's a scary sight to be at, y'all. 5 to 10 years down the line, y'all. Because if you don't change nothing now, you might be like that for a long time, y'all. So I'm not only saving you the time of escaping out that fucking hole you might dug yourself in, but I'm saving you years and just, maybe months of time that you can, grab by your hands, y'all, and do whatever you want with that time. Family? My bad for the lighting, y'all, but when the weather's cold as shit, y'all, ain't nobody finna go outside and risk their survival, y'all, because everybody thrives off of comfort, y'all. Survival is what everybody takes to the heart, y'all, because they want to survive in this world. Live like a survivor/creator, y'all. Don't live like a giver/beggar, because people will talk about you, y'all, and people will use you for things. But I'll see y'all in a video later down the road, y'all. I just hope that you stop being around people that you don't fully like being around, y'all. If they're not even gonna boost your levels of confidence, y'all, or they're not even gonna send you, peaceful or good words of, inspiration, why are you around them, y'all? Question everything about you. Ask yourself, why am I around people that are not serving me? Why am I around beings that I'm not learning from? Unless you're at a place where you have to be around, simple-minded beings, y'all. Example, you go to work, y'all, or you go, out in the world to go travel, explore, or to go buy things. Well, then I get it, family, because you have to surround yourself around individuals that you have no, reason to. It's just what it is. But what I'm giving y'all in this video is to, accept it and learn from those, individuals. Not be around them your whole life, y'all, or stay stuck in one position, family, because it's truly gonna hurt you, or it might haunt you, because your time is all that matters on this world, y'all. Don't give your time away for things that's not gonna help you, especially in the long run, y'all. But I hope that you have, figured out what your calling is, y'all. If you have found something or you are good at something, go ahead and pursue that, y'all. Everybody feels like, giving up. Everybody feels like not giving it they all in the beginning. Everybody feels like life ain't rewarding. But what makes it rewarding is the way you keep going and the more better you get at your craft, y'all. What helps me get on the camera, y'all, is knowing that I have made one soul feel better about themselves or to where they feel less alone. And I salute myself with a pat on the back, y'all, because I did the work, y'all. And I know how it feels to be in your position, especially if you are a chosen one with no, you know, recognition in life, y'all, because you don't know where you're headed. If you are in that position, family, just keep living, y'all, and keep questioning your reality, because you will get an idea what God is trying to lead you on to become perfectionist at, y'all. Don't give up now. But what I'm going to tell you to do is don't surround yourself around people that are not on your frequency, one, and two, not on, a winning mindset, y'all. If you are at a job, y'all, and you're around people who are just wanting to work for their whole lives, you're not supposed to be around them, y'all. So just, take the validation that is temporary, y'all, and forget they existed, y'all, because they're not gonna help you with your goals in life. So that's why I give y'all the video today, to have some awareness about how others think. And don't tell nobody your dreams anyway, because they don't even have dreams. So if they don't have dreams, y'all, what makes you think they're gonna, uplift you or gonna remind you to keep going? They're not, y'all, because they're computer programmers, they're NPCs, y'all. So they don't have no desire for your goals and ambitions, because they didn't even have none for themselves, y'all. And that's why those type of people should scare you or put fear in you, because they didn't do shit with their own 24, family. So I'll remind you in this video, man, I hope that you stick to what it is you love doing, y'all, and go pursue that shit, y'all. Yes, you were meant to do that, y'all, but you weren't meant to be around people that don't have nothing going on for themselves. And that's why this video has found you. But I love y'all, man, and I'm gonna fuck with y'all, man. Hey, y'all be safe out here.